All
pull
right,
the
Beyonce,
forwards.
y'all know Beyonce just dropped that new album. You know what I mean? Y'all voted and said it was trash. What's that shit called again?
Renaissance.
Renaissance. You know what I'm saying? It's called Renaissance. Now, there's different levels to all this Beyonce shit that's going on, y'all. Just like there's different levels to everything. So for y'all niggas know what we be getting on, y'all better grab y'all notebooks. Cause it's
Mm-hmm.
about to get real biblical. Y'all see our names tonight. Read our names in those boxes. Y'all see those names? We about to kick it up another notch.
All right, let me get these
I mean,
other
people
videos
who's
off
people
backstage.
who's partially conscious or think they gonna automatically say, "Oh, Beyonce's the devil." And all. This is bigger than Beyonce, y'all. This is bigger than Beyonce. All right, this is bigger than Beyonce. Oh, you went back to that.
No, I ain't mean to go
We
to
done
that.
past this goofy ass nigga right here.
Damn,
Get him and her off the screen. But yeah,
my bad.
this is bigger than Beyonce, y'all. I know a lot of y'all want to hear us bash Beyonce, and a lot of y'all don't want to hear us bash. Some of y'all want to hear us praise Beyonce, and some of y'all want to hear us bash Beyonce. It's not about bashing or it's not about praising. There's something going on a higher level with this shit. We gonna give y'all the lower level shit first, the stuff that people who don't really know what's going on, but they say it is. You know, most people be like, she's the Illuminati, it's the devil, it's mind
Yep,
control, it's
yep.
that. And some of it might be true, but this is not about that. This is some shit that's about to get. You know what I mean? It's about to get real biblical tonight, man. Truth, not it ain't the same biblical for y'all that follow us. Y'all know how we get, but we take it to a different level. We take it to actual
Absolutely.
proof, metaphysics, studying natures and shit, seeing how nature ties into this.
Mm-hmm.
Not you know what I mean, the shit that we actually can prove through science that's in alignment with spirituality. You know what I mean? That's called metaphysics. So we about to get into that shit. But let's give them the low level shit, man. Let's give them, you know what I mean, Beyonce. What niggas gonna say, JR? Yeah, she's the Illuminati and they got her riding on the four horses
Oh
of
yeah, she
apocalypse.
Illuminati.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got her
yeah,
riding on the four horses.
she riding on the forest. Matter of fact, I'm about to pull this picture up
Yeah, you
now.
know, y'all know how people
Let me
get
pull this
down.
picture up.
All these Illuminati videos and shit. But we take it beyond that, because we beyond the level of understanding that shit is the Illuminati. Who cares? We about to show y'all a level that actually cares. That actually matters, I meant. Shit that actually matters. All that this is the Illuminati stuff. That stuff ain't, that's just to keep you weak minded, keep you scared, keep you know what I mean, always in fear.
Yeah,
Shit, Pac even said it one time. Oh, these niggas, I go to jail and everybody talk about the Illuminati. How you know about the plan? He
I
said it
know who told
again.
this nigga to
Yeah,
plan
who
in
told
jail.
this nigga the whole plan in jail? Just like he was saying, that's just something to keep the black man and just to keep the general population scared
Yeah,
and keep their confidence low.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So tonight we about to take it past this so-called Beyonce is the devil and Illuminati. We taking it past that. You know what I mean? But we introduce that level first, cause y'all see the screen. These happened over a matter of years, right? These pictures with
Yeah,
Beyonce
these
riding these
pictures is
horses, right?
different years. Yup. I think one year she did the white horse. I think 20. I think um last year for Vogue magazine, I think she did the red one. The black one is from that movie she did. Um, the whatever that little movie she did. Forgot the name of that shit. Matter of fact, let me pull it up.
Niggas ain't ready to hear the truth in here, man. Just look away.
All right, it
Close your
says it's
eyes. You know how like when your parents, you know what I mean, something adult stuff come on the TV and your parents make you cover up your eyes and hold your ears. Just do the same thing. If y'all ain't ready for the truth, man, if y'all ain't ready for the real truth behind this. stuff that supersedes all the little human bull crap that we've been taught. And
Yeah.
people got to start separating it. People got to start understanding that the human is only here as an expression of something that's going on a higher level. That's it. It's nothing more than that. Nothing more than that.
All right, so it started with the horse imagery. The cover Renaissance is striking a shot at the mostly nude. You know, she was nude on top of that horse. To be held, Beyonce on top of the silver horse. The cover of this month, British Vogue, is a striking shot of Beyonce riding a red horse. So she wrote that's Vogue magazine. It says Newsweek explained the rest in July 2020. Beyonce sat on top of the white horse. The Black is King movie in August 2022, she posed with the white horse for Harper's Bazaar, whatever that is. I guess that's another magazine. It's simple enough equation. Beyonce horse is the four horsemen of the apocalypse. One riding the white horse, one riding the red horse, one riding the black horse, and one riding the pale horse. Represents war, famine, death, and pestilence. Pestilence.
Sicknesses.
I says when they show up, it means our earthly world is over.
Our earthly world is over when they show up.
Yeah, the earthly world is over when they show up.
So most people would see this and hear. Most people would be like, "Oh, it's just art. Beyonce's just doing her job. Just getting on the horse. It's Beyonce. She's gonna do stuff like this. This is, what I mean, everything she do got to be big and showy." Other people will look into this. People who's not fully awake but almost there, they say, "Oh, look at this. It's something deeper than that," and they automatically go to say it's the devil, because everything that's
the program.
Everything in their mind that people think is good to them is God, and everything that they perceive as bad is the devil. To the point where it gets so twisted that you don't know what's God or the devil anymore.
And you know what? That's the program. When we start,
woe to those who say good is evil and say evil is good. It start to get twisted.
Everybody try to link stuff to Illuminati and all this stuff. Like that's like the programming, man. That's the program. Like everything is not Illuminati.
Nah, everything ain't.
Everything ain't
I know
Illuminati.
It's Illuminati if you look at it from the right perspective. Illuminati as just being illuminated or enlightened on something.
Yeah, it's not
basically bringing some type of light to darkness.
Yeah, but
that's what literally it means.
Yeah, if they knew that side of it, they looking at it from a standpoint like it's just a group of people that's, what I'm saying, that's so demonic that they just controlling every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And trying to put spells on us and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But we talking about Illuminati as far as
somebody say y'all are lying by.
Oh no, they out of here. They don't have to worry about us anymore.
Leave them in here.
Nah.
They need to hear it.
They don't need to hear it. They don't need to hear it because they not ready to hear it. They hear it. They hear it one day. Everybody.
I don't understand what we lying about. Lying about what? What's the lie? What did we say anything about lying though? But where did we lie yet? We reading off the facts of what these horses mean that she riding on. Where's the lie yet?
Nah, I'm gonna bring this.
Where's the lie?
Save Ted.
Yeah, leave them in here.
Yeah, I brought them back. If they want to come back in, then they could come back in.
I want to get them up on a panel since we lying. I want to bring them up. For anybody that disagree, we're gonna bring y'all up on the panel. But we're gonna get through this this segment real quick.
First, people gotta understand. First, you gotta understand the code that's happening. You gotta understand the spiritual language that's being spoken before you can even get into what's going on with Beyonce. You gotta get into the spirit. You gotta understand the whole spiritual language of all the scriptures, not just the Bible, but all the scriptures entirely. But tonight, we just gonna focus on the Christianity part, the biblical part, because that's where this is coming from. This 4 horses of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
That Beyonce is portraying here.
Expressing.
Rather consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah, just expressing.
Yeah, expression. I'm gonna say it's expression.
Yeah, it's a form of expression.
So first you gotta understand what is most people don't even know what the apocalypse is. Most people look at it as something bad.
Yeah.
They automatically hear about, it's the end of the world, so it's about the end of the world, so it's bad. But if you're a person that actually know the scriptures, it's actually a good thing. Because it happens after the Lamb becomes victorious. And then the seals are broken, and then the apocalypse happens. And then the horses start coming about. And the one that unseals the horse, is the victorious one. I mean, unseals the seals so the horses can come about, is the victorious one. So it's ordained. This is something that's supposed to happen. It's an expression of something that's supposed to happen on a higher level. But in order to understand how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, is understanding what the actual code that's being speak, or the hidden language.
Yes,
that's what it is, because that's how Jesus spoke in parables. That's how the Lamb spoke in parables. And it's only for the people who's ready to hear it. It's not for the people. If you're not ready to hear what's going on here, I suggest you leave so you don't get offended.
It's not a literal sense. It's not putting into it.
That's another thing.
It's not speaking something literal.
And y'all gotta understand, everything is a representation of something.
That's it.
Or a symbol. Symbols. You got, once you start understanding that everything is definitely broken down in symbols, then you'll understand. You'll understand everything's a symbol.
You notice nature is always used. Nature is always used.
Yeah, nature is always used. Or whatever culture.
Yeah.
It's saying things that's of that culture, that specific culture. You know, stuff that we might not use in American culture, but they might use in Middle Eastern or Native American, whatever they use. If they use, the red bean or the white bean or they use, clay pots, or they use or steel pot. It's always from whatever culture. So that's a language in itself, but it's still speaking a higher thing. It's still the same message.
It's still the same message. It's just a different culture expressing that message. Yep.
Now this message is specifically broken down in a language that everybody's supposed to understand, but something have to awaken in you first. Something have to awaken in you first for you to understand it. And that's when it talks about the mysteries of Christ being in you. So that's the only way you're going to understand is if that mystery is awakened in you. If it's awakened in you,
those things that's happening within has nothing to do with anything that's outside of you.
Exactly.
When it talks about, the scriptures talk about the heavens being within. You know what I'm saying? Once again, if a war breaks out in the heavens, that means the war is in you, because the scriptures plainly says the heavens is within you. So if the war is breaking out, who is that war between?
Same thing. Hell is in you. Hell is within you too.
Yeah, because
your eye is dark, your whole body is dark.
Exactly.
Hell is supposed to be a dark and gloomy place that's infinitely burning, and basically the ignorance go there. The ignorance resides there in hell. The ignorance resides in hell, and they call it's bliss for some people. You know what I'm saying? The inner you is all that matters. The exterior part is just an expression of what's going on inside of you. That's why it specifically says In the scriptures, if you read it, the mysteries of all the ages that was revealed to the Gentiles is Christ in you for the glory. So you gotta understand what that means. That means the level of Christ or the brotherhood of Christ. Remember when they was looking for Christ, and then he came to them after the sacrifice, and he was saying, he was calling them his brothers, meaning it became a brotherhood. That's why when you go to church, you say brother so and so and sister so and so, because when you awaken to your soul self, which is considered the Christ, then you start to see equality with everybody around you. There's no classes. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no classes. There's nothing to separate anybody from. You become one. You know what I'm saying? So we all enter sonship.
And what it says,
we all enter the sonship. We all become the sons and the daughters of the Most High.
What it said, of the body filled with light, thy eye will become one.
Y'all gotta remember something.
There's no separation.
You gotta remember something. Jesus didn't become the Christ really until later on. Before he was more the Son of Man. He was the Son of Man, and he became the Christ that rose after he was sacrificed. But see, it's a higher meaning. You're not supposed to just look at the lower level, which is the animal level. All right, a man died and was hanging on the cross. But what is the higher message behind that? What's the higher message? The human side had to die so the Christ, which is the soul, could rise. So you have to put an end to your human self, your humanity. Understanding humanity is not the spirit realm. So all our little cultures and man traditions that's human don't have nothing to really do with the spiritual realm, except for it's an expression or symbols. If you really get into it, the Jesus side is the material realm, and the man or the flesh. The Christ, that's why it's separated. So you'll see sometimes in the scriptures it's written Christ Jesus or Jesus Christ.
And it's not his last name.
It's not his last name, y'all.
It's not his last name.
It's not his last name.
People looking at Christ. People reading it like Jesus Christ, like it's Christ's last name.
Christ is the chosen one or the anointed one or the being, the I am part.
Christ represents the light, man.
Christ represents the consciousness of I am. If anything can say I am, it's a conscious being. You know what I'm saying? You don't see regular animals like cats and dogs going around saying I am. Or how self-aware are they?
They ain't self-aware at all, because if
self-awareness
you put a mirror in front of that animal, they think it's another being. You see what I'm saying? You always see that. That's what separates us. We got a spark in us called the Christ. Everybody. It just have to awaken. But in order for it to awaken, you have to put your material self away, or start analyzing that the material is an expression or symbols to the Christ. So in order to get to the Christ, you have to become the Son of Man first. You have to reach the level of Son of Man, which is basically understanding how the material world correlates with the spiritual world as an expression. God becomes
to teach
man, so this man can become God, man.
Exactly. Because if heaven is supposed to be you going to go live with God forever, that means you're becoming one with the Almighty. You're becoming one with the Most High. So if you're becoming one with something, you merging with it. So that means you're becoming it. That's why I say, you know what I mean? The image of Christ, you're supposed to live in the image of Christ. Christ is your soul being. Just like Adam was a soul being. Adam was a soul being. That's why when God breathed his breath into Adam, he got up and became a living soul, a living being. It literally says a living soul.
And what Adam was he before that? Just representing a consciousness of a collective, not just one man named Adam.
Well, it literally says it created a whole world of them. Yeah, Adam, just like there's a whole group of people. Yeah, that's more biblical language right there. So you got to realize each of the 12 tribes were started off as one person. But then if you came from the tribe of Benjamin, you was like a Benjaminite or something like that.
Yeah,
That's the
yup.
language of the Bible. Like one man is a whole nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they say the body of Christ, and there's multiple people that equal up. That's why it says, let us create man in our image. That's a group of beings or entities that became one, that created a whole world of beings in their image.
Yup.
It literally says that. It literally says that. That you're not going to refer to yourself as plural if it's just one of you.
It's
Because
many
if
of you.
each of
Yeah,
us,
you
each,
going.
if
Yeah,
each of us,
exactly.
if each of us were saved and we entered the body of Christ, we're all supposed to move as one. But we're a group of beings, group of different personalities and everything coming together as one people. You know what I'm saying? That's the language throughout the whole entire script. All the scriptures. That's the same language. It's a language, y'all. It's a language that it's a language, and you gotta use that language throughout the whole in its entirety. People say you're not using the scriptures in its entirety. That is the entirety. That's the whole entirety. So when you read about a man, the man is just not just one person. It's a group of people who got the characteristics and the mindset of that one person. Which that one person is usually the origin of those group of people. Like the tribe of Judah or the tribe of Benjamin or any. That language sort of gets lost when it gets to the New Testament. So I don't know why that language is dropped. I don't know if
Nah,
it's out
I
of
don't think.
ignorance.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know if
think.
it's
Yeah,
out of
it's just out of
or
ignorance because, like you said, if you don't reach a certain level of awakening, then you're just gonna take all that into literal sense. You're gonna always bring it down to the humanistic uh, version of what the message is. You can never reach to the spiritual level of the message until you reach that within yourself.
well, you're gonna remain the animal because the human world is the animal world. It's the lower realm.
The
You gotta
beastly realm.
understand. Yeah.
The
You gotta
beast.
understand it's the lower realm. It's set up just like the ark. It's set up just like the ark. You know what I'm saying? In the ark, you know what I'm
Three
saying?
levels.
The animals was at the bottom of the
Yeah,
ark.
levels
In
at
the
the
middle is where they kept the food at.
food at.
The food at for both the animals and for the souls that was in there. Noah and his family, which
And then the
which
top
are whole civilizations of souls.
And the top is where they reside.
And the top is where they resided. So that's three different levels of understanding the same scripture. So you can have the same scripture, but it depends on where your level of consciousness is at is how you will understand it. On a lower level, that's the animal materialistic carnal level. That's the animal level. This is the animal planet. You know what I'm saying? This is the animal planet, y'all. This is animal just meaning the lower level that's expressing something higher.
Mm-hmm.
The middle level is the mediator. That's where both the animals and the higher beings could get their food from by going to the middle level of understanding. Then there's a higher level, which is only speaking to the soul. It's not speaking to your human self. So the animal have to die so the higher being could come through and live. You understand? So the animal becomes sacrificial so the higher being could live. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole Jesus to the Christ story right there, because he rose as Christ.
Yeah.
He rose as the Christ. He died as Jesus and rose as the Christ. Most people miss that because a lot of stuff get lost in translation. You got like 50 million different translations of the same Bible. Yeah, but if you actually understand the core message, and then you will understand what's going on. If you follow, is a certain language that's being spoken. If you realize that Jesus is the man that walked the earth. We're all Jesus in our physical form that walks the earth, that's suffering in this on this plane.
Yeah, people don't know that.
We're all suffering.
People don't know that.
We are all currently
people don't know
suffering.
that there's a collective consciousness as a collective. That people just singling out things and making these beings in the scriptures like one person that's higher than themselves, and making them out to be more important than themselves when it's all really just you anyway.
So you gotta understand that
You know what I'm saying?
there's an animal self, which is the lower you, which is the human. The human is part of the animal world. But that
That's
being
what the
that's
beast.
inside
Yeah,
in that animal, you gotta realize that animal is not you.
that's what it
That
says in
being
Revelation.
inside is higher than the animal.
The beast is man. The man number is 666. It don't have shit to do with no devil. It ain't got nothing to do with no nigga with red horns under the ground. It says literally the man is beast and his number is 666. It ain't got nothing. That's just represents what man is. Man represents the beast.
Abraham had to sacrifice his son Isaac, right? You gotta realize Abraham is the soul. Yep. Isaac is the soul also.
Yeah.
Soul being. He didn't have to do it because what took his place was the human, which is the ram or the lamb, took his place. The animal side, and we not stop looking at this as literal, like sacrifice, like actually killing. It's talking about putting the lower things, killing off the lower things, the lower meaning of things. That's scripture. The lower part is killing off the material world, because the material world is just here as an expression, as things that's going on in the spiritual realm. The material stuff is are just symbols. You
have to do that in your conscious.
Physical, your human self is
it don't have nothing to do with nothing literal. It's all part of being within you, and you have to do that in your conscious. You have to do that in your mind. You have to say, all right, this place, material world, I have to separate myself from the material world in my consciousness. In my consciousness, I have to know that this material world is separated from the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is where I'm trying to get back to. So I got to do
actually reside at.
Where you reside at.
Yeah.
But and not hold on to this, because you can't be holding on to the material world. You know what I'm saying? The material world ain't the end all be all. You know
and that's how even people, that's how people judge each other, based on man's traditions in the material world. We judge each other based off the material world. That's what we do. That's what we, as spiritual as some of us might say we are, we still judging each other based on material things and not spiritual things. And a lot of us is confusing spiritual things with material things. Man's traditions, these cultures that's on this planet, is man-made traditions. You understand? But there's still an expression of something that's going on higher. See, if you start looking at those different cultures as not so much as politics on how you're supposed to live as a human, but you start looking at them as an expression or a symbol of spiritual things taking place, then you'll start to understand stuff like the Book of Revelations and understand what the 4 horses is about.
So this was the Beyonce thing she doing with the horses is just a mockery.
It's a symbol.
It's a symbol, and it's a mockery of the expressions of what, you know what I'm saying, what's taking place within us. There's no 4 horses coming out the sky, and there's no time and place that these things are going to happen. These things are happening now. Simultaneously.
They always happen.
It's happening. It's not something you got to wait for down the line. There's no prophecies of some stuff that's going to happen down the line. These things are happening within the present. Past and future simultaneously.
You just understand it once your Christ being awakens, and you start understanding the human and the material world is just symbols of something that's of expression of something higher. But that can't happen until that something awakens in you, which is the mystery of Christ.
Once again, you have to.
So this stuff is happening in you.
Once again, you got to put the Jesus to death.
Yeah, exactly.
To understand what to get to that,
there it is.
That level, you have to put that Jesus to death. Put it to death.
There it is.
And that just represents the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Put the flesh to death. That's the material world. In your consciousness, you got to say, all right, this material world is not the real world.
It's an expression of something that's going on a higher level. And it's here for our learn. It's here for our soul to learn. The material world, your human self is there for your soul to learn and to elevate into the Christhood, into the brotherhood of Christ, which is becoming one with the Most High.
Henson, that's why it's called a universe. University, elements, elementary. You know what I'm saying? All these languages is symbols. All these words is nothing but symbols. Universe representing, you know what I'm saying? We in school right now. And like Isaiah just said, our spiritual selves has to learn from our human selves. So we in the school right now. We in the university right now. And the planet Earth represents the elements, elementary. This the elementary level. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta understand that sacrificing the Jesus side of you, which is your human self, your human, not literal sacrifice, y'all, not literally going somewhere and offering yourself. Talking about the concept of you being human. You're a spiritual being first. The human side of you is the spiritual being taking flesh and then walking on the earth. You know what I mean? That's what your human, and the earth is considered animal nature. This is an animalistic world we in. So these human bodies are animalistic. The soul inside of it is an eternal being. It's an eternal being. All right? That's the first separation you have to do. And then you have to, once you understand that, I'm talking about you gotta understand it, not just understand it. You gotta understand the core of what we saying right here. Your human self is covering your soul self. All right? So that soul self, these scriptures that you're reading in these Bibles is not speaking to your human self. It's speaking to your soul self. So you realize in Revelations, when it start talking about, right before it start talking about the seals that were open and then the horsemen riding on the different horses, the Revelations 4 before that was talking about the lamb who got slaughtered and then got his crown of glory. So now is the lamb that got slaughtered, the human, or the one who put the human self away to basically embrace the spiritual one, is the one that opens up the seals so they can see what's already been going on, what's already been ordained. So you're just awakening to the apocalypse that's already happening. You gotta understand, people think it's something that's going to come, but it's currently happening now. You're just not awakened to it because your Christ haven't awakened yet. Your Christ is still sleeping or dead, if you want to call it. You know,
dormant.
Yeah, it's dormant.
Dormant state.
It's still in the dormant state. So receiving your crown is basically going up into the head. You remember, there's levels to this. There's different levels of Christ's body. That's why they say Christ's body. You know what I'm saying? Christ's body has a head, it has a torso, it has legs, and it has feet. So if you looking at that spiritually as a metaphoric expression or metaphysical expression, that means there's 3 different levels of understanding the same scriptures or the same words or the same messages that's being spoken. The head, once you understand the highest level, that's the crown level. So now you're starting to see things not from the foot level, not from the torso,
beast, not from the beast level,
not
man
from
level,
the gut, not from the animal
not
level,
from the lower level of the ark, man.
Not from the lower level of the ark, but the level of the ark where Noah and his family resides at. When you start understanding the scriptures from that level, then that's when you reach your crown. That's when you get your crown of glory. That means you're putting away the human man tradition side of it, of the scriptures. Because you gotta understand, the tradition, the man's tradition side of it is just the different cultures that explain the spiritual things that's happening. Like we said, they use some cultures use clay pots, some cultures use steel pots. So one culture writes scriptures down using a clay pot and as an example or a metaphoric expression or a spiritual expression, and the other one to use a clay pot. That's just man tradition.
The rug, the prayer rug.
That's it. Yup, the prayer, all that is just man's
communion,
tradition.
taking communions, setting up altars, What else? It's all this stuff that ties into these different cultures, using these external things
But
that
you can still
represents, you know what
take
I'm
that
saying, something on
that
a
lower
higher level.
level thing, that lower level clay pot or steel pot, and see what's going on with that from a higher level, from the crown level. The crown level
And
is when
that's
you
when they
get your
say
crown.
you could do it when you understand it. You could do away with that. You don't need to do it no more. Why would you need to keep doing it when you understand it at a higher level? You don't need to keep doing it over and over. That's when
It's
you
man's traditions.
get locked into, you know what I'm saying, into the ritualistic part of it, of doing it repetitiously every time. You know what I'm saying? That's a form of that's a form of um that's a form of being like in a hell too. It's doing something over and over again.
Hmm.
You don't need to do it over and over again. You do it once, you find out what the meaning of it is, and you do away with it. That's why in the scriptures say do away with man's traditions. Because you don't need to keep doing it over and over. Once you
Exactly.
understand what it is at a higher level, and what you understand what it means on a spiritual level, you don't need to do it.
And a lot of people, and a lot of things where people go wrong at is they separate science from spirituality, not realizing that science is a testament to spirituality. Like they're literally, like, science is literally there to back up spirituality. Like that's what a lot of people, they might leave Christianity and be like, or leave some type, and they be like, that's not the truth. That Bible, all that stuff is false in that Bible, and they go on to some other stuff, not realizing no, the Bible is true. Everything in there is fact. It's just the perspective that you're reading it from. If you're reading it from the lower level, it would seem contradictory. If you read it from the crown level, you will see an entire
Yeah, because
uh,
you
world
mhm.
being played out. You'll see a entire higher realm being played out, and you'll understand how you fit into that higher realm.
And people are going to say that's the white man's book.
Yep.
White man used it for to us to enslave us in slavery. They beat us and made us read the book, and they get all into that lower level stuff, all the lower
Let
level
me give them
stuff.
an example of science, of how scripture applied to science. See, you gotta understand, the reality. First of all, y'all gotta start understanding the reality and the nature of things don't change, whether it's from a spiritual standpoint or material standpoint. Like for instance, when it says, "I am in my Father, and my Father is in me," scientifically, that will be blood cells. If we're all in the body of Christ, and Christ is one with God, to the point he's sharing equality with God, basically Christ saying that he is God through the blood, right? And he's in him, and the Father is in him, and he's in the Father. That's blood cells. In your blood cells, you are in your blood cells, and your blood cells is in you.
Mhm.
So that's how you're covered by Christ's blood, y'all. You're covered by the blood. That's how you're covered. Not a literal covered, but covered like, yeah, you definitely welcome into the brotherhood. You covered because I see that you realize that you're part of the blood. You
Mhm.
realize that you're a cell inside of the blood of the higher being.
Mhm.
Now, the reason why you would say that we're not higher than the Most High is because one of your blood cells is not higher than your whole body.
Nah.
In fact, in fact, your blood cell probably can't even comprehend your whole body on the outside. It's inside. It's inside of you, but it can't. Just like we can't comprehend the Most High. Because you know why? It's the same thing. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
And
You are in your
yeah.
Father, and your Father's in you. That's a expression on something that's going on a lower level as an expression that's happening on a higher level, and that's the type of parable and metaphoric metaphysical language that Jesus was speaking. That you have to understand. Once you alienate yourself from the Most High, then you're gonna forever think you're just a human that deserves to be in hell
Yeah.
forever.
You
That
want
you're
to get
never
into
going
these
to get out of.
horses?
You're never going to get. Once you realize you're a part of the body, You have to
Yeah.
awaken to that. You have to awaken that you got to know that you're a part of the body.
Yeah.
You have to realize you're a part of the body. You're literally a blood cell inside of the Most High.
Yeah. For those that comprehend and get that,
For those that
they know.
comprehend this is for y'all. This ain't for everybody. If you don't
Nah.
understand, if you're a person that's completely manipulated by the system, you go to school, they tell you that spirituality and religion is BS, and
Yep.
you go to church and they tell you don't believe what they teach in school. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you in between and you separate in science and spirituality, then you're not going to understand what we're talking about, because you're not going to think the two are connected. And when I say they're connected, they're literally the same thing. They're literally the same thing. So you're not going to understand this.
You'll understand it on a layer level when you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you're ready to.
Because we all in the school of thought right now. We all in the university. We all in the school of thought, and everybody has to learn from it. And if you don't learn, you fail. I mean, what happened if you fail? You repeat the grade over again. Mm-hmm. I mean, so we all in the school of thought right now. We all in the school of we all in the university, the universe, the university. You know what I'm saying? And we all here to learn. So you're gonna have to face the fact anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Since we got that out of the way, that this lamb that was sacrificed and got its crown is basically its higher level of understanding. Once you get that, then the seals are open. The seals are open. The thing is, the stuff was already in the seals, was happening. It's just open because you're now open. You're open, so you're the person that got the victory. You know what I'm saying? You're the Christ that you put away your Jesus side, which is the one that walked the earth and basically, was beaten and all that stuff, because this life beat you up. We're constantly suffering here, everybody, in their own way. Once you put that side away, you overcome that, then now you're getting into your Christ mindset. You're thinking from the mindset of Christ and not thinking from the mindset of human. The former man. You put off the former man, now you're born above, and now you're a man that was born from above.
Yeah.
You're the man that not the man that was, not talking about the physical birth, talking about the birth of your higher mindset, being reborn, basically a renewing of your mind. That's what that means. So now the seals are opening, because now you're starting to see things in the world that you didn't see before. And that's the apocalypse. And you're opening this. You're opening this in yourself, and now you're starting to see it around you. So this is happening inside of y'all. This is happening inside of y'all.
And I watched, there was a white horse. His rider was holding a bow.
Hold on, let's not get into that yet. I'm gonna get into this Beyonce stuff real quick. Of why it's crazy that they chose Beyonce to get on this. Now remember, y'all, everything that's happening in the physical is an expression of something that's happening on a higher level, even down to our names that's given to us. Names was pretty big in all the scriptures, because the names always meant something. Yeah. Names always mean something.
You realize they never used last names. It was just like first name of this area or first name of this tribe, or they always use like the first name and maybe the tribe they came from or the area that they lived in. You see what I'm saying? Last names wasn't important. Last name wasn't important.
Nah, not really. So let's break down Beyonce's now. Now remember, once you obtain that crown, and you're on another level now. Your mind is beyond the physical world. Your mind is beyond the physical world. I gotta do Umar. Your mind is beyond the physical world now. Once that lamb is sacrificed, that human traditions, once you sacrifice that and get into the higher meaning of things, the spiritual meaning of things, now you're that lamb that's talked about in Revelations 4, the one who's opening up the seals to the apocalypse. And the apocalypse is the eternal thing. It's always happening, nonstop. It's just that you gotta awaken to it. So let's see what Beyonce means.
Beyond, yeah. Beyonce, beyond.
Show them on the screen. Let's go and show them what Beyonce means. Look up Beyonce name meaning or Beyonce. Let's show them. Let's do some of the work for them.
All right, yeah, I'm about to looking it up now so I can.
Now remember, you're renewing in your mind and you're going beyond man's traditions and the physical meaning of things. Now we taking it to, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't hear many people. Not many people.
All right, let me
touch the
share
book of
this.
Y'all realize not many churches touch this book of Revelations. Y'all realize that, right? Because you can't understand it until you understand the full language of what's going on from the beginning of the scriptures to the end. If you don't understand that language, you're not going to understand nothing from Revelation at all. If you don't understand that this physical world is just a symbol of something that's going on a higher level or a spiritual level, then you're never going to understand what this means. You can read Revelations all day, and now you got to go off what people tell you it means. Now, we're looking at the apocalypse like it's bad or evil, but it's the Lamb, the victorious one, that unsealed it, and now it's ordained to happen, or it's been happening.
It's been happening.
Y'all see what Beyonce mean, y'all?
But according to the name meaning, Beyonce means beyond others, which suits Beyonce out of this world persona. The word also has a Creole
out of this world persona,
Creole
beyond
word,
others.
As for younger Beyonce singer Solange, the "Don't Touch Me, Don't Touch My Hair" singer's name also is special meaning according to Baby. All right, well, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's blah blah.
Yeah,
I just needed them to see beyond others, and basically they saying out of this world. All right, out of this world. Christ was out of this world once the Lamb was put to death, which was the Jesus. Jesus walked the earth and he died. He was put, and once Christ rose, then he received. Then he went back to glory and received his crown. But Revelations is expanding on when Christ. You remember when Christ, he didn't go straight to heaven after he had to come back. He had to come back for a little bit. He came back for a little bit. And was approaching his brothers and sisters, giving them messages like this, like we're giving you tonight. Before he completely ascended, and that's when the Revelations apocalypse took place, around that time. And I'm not saying around that time as time period. I'm talking about at when you reach that understanding, then you start and then you start to understand what the Christ is telling you, because now you in the brotherhood. When he came back, he went to all his disciples and basically told them, y'all are my brothers. Y'all not no longer my students or nothing like that. Y'all basically are my brothers. Basically meaning they share equality. Because it's a brotherhood, because we all brothers and we all the sons and daughters of the Most High. That's equality. It literally says that. We're all the sons and daughters of the Most High. That shares equality. The son that was set aside is anyone who understands these messages. The son that's put aside is the ones who, because even the ones who don't understand this message, they're still the sons and daughters of the Most High, but they're not the ones who was put aside, that was separated and was considered holy because they didn't follow this message that y'all getting now of putting the man's traditions away and actually focusing on the Christ, which is the higher understanding of things and not the lower. So when it says, didn't I say that we're all the sons and daughters of the Most High? And then they basically persecuted him for saying that he was the I am, which basically means he was saying, I'm conscious that I'm part of the family of the Most High. That's basically what happens when you reach that level. So you gotta understand, it's crazy they put Beyonce, someone name who means beyond others.
Beyond,
beyond others, y'all. In this symbolism.
Out of this world, right?
Out of this world.
I mean, you gotta understand how what they use to do the mockery. You know what I'm saying? They they prop these people up to be, to use these signs and symbols as a form of expression. Like they choose, like she's chosen, you know what I'm saying? Which we all are chosen people, but it's just that the cameras is on her, you know what I'm saying? The she able to broadcast it, to millions of people at one time.
Mm-hmm.
They able to broadcast it. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't that she anything special. It's just that, with
They
them
said the
using these
screen is messed up.
broadcasters,
So
huh?
they said it's just me or the screen is messed up.
That's probably just their screen because it don't look like that over here.
Nah, it don't look like that over here. Could y'all see the screen?
They probably gotta refresh they probably gotta go out and refresh they phone. Yeah, that's somebody else. That's their phone probably stuff blurry.
So beyond don't mean. I see some people saying that nobody's beyond nobody's beyond the Most High. Nobody's beyond. Once we reach that level, once we reach that brotherhood, nobody's beyond within inside that brotherhood of putting the human self aside and embracing the spiritual Christ that's in you. Then you become, but you're beyond to this world when you do that. You're beyond this world when you do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all have to understand. Stop looking at the physical stuff all the time. That's the first thing we do is our mind go back to human traditions and human politics. Human politics that change up like the direction of the wind. But this shit that we giving you tonight don't change up. It's forever going. Like these apocalyptic things that's happening with these horses, that's continuously happening. But you don't become conscious of it until you're that sacrificial lamb with that crown, and now you're seeing things from the crown, from the higher side, and not seeing it from the lower side. So you're not thinking literal people riding horses and causing pestilence and deaths and famines and conquering things. You're not seeing the physical that you start to see it from a different standpoint, which is a higher standpoint. Shit, let's break it down. Let's break some of these joints down. Cause they gotta understand even some of y'all gotta start understanding the metaphysics behind, like when I was telling y'all about how different cultures use different material items to express spiritual things. But it's the same message that's behind it. It's the same message. Yeah, let's go. Let's put that on the screen real quick. Let's put that.
Which one? The horsemen?
The script. The actual Bible Gateway joint. Yeah, the actual joints. Yeah, I think I sent you that. Already.
I got it. Hold on.
Let's just break some of these joints. I don't know if I want to go through all of them though, but I'm just maybe I'll go through like one or two of them, and then y'all on your own time could go back and recheck all this information. And y'all ain't gotta believe anything that we're saying here. We're not forcing anyone to believe anything. We're not forcing this on anybody. We just
you could disagree with it if you want.
That's fine. We just giving you the higher understanding of what's going on. So y'all won't be sitting back waiting for something to come out of the sky or somebody to be riding by with a horse physically doing these things.
For y'all that's got blurry screen, y'all gonna have to put your high resolution on. Go to the top of the video and tap that little setting thing on the top of the video, and y'all gonna have to switch to high definition on your phone.
Or y'all can go to Bible Gateway yourself and follow along. It's in Revelations. What is this? Revelations.
All right, this is Revelation
6.
All right, the four horsemen.
Y'all gotta remember from the perspective that if y'all started at Revelation 5, I believe it was 5. It shows you what took place before these horses were before these seals were broken. Remember, there were seals were broken by the one who carried the crown, the lamb who was slaughtered, which is the one who put the human self away, whose Jesus already died on that cross. Now they thinking from a Christ perspective. This person is the one that opened the seals. Now they starting to see the world as metaphysics and parables. You start to see the whole world around you as parables now, not just as you don't just see it as what we are taught on a day-to-day basis as a man's tradition to see things. You start to see higher meanings out of just things like, I'll give y'all a quick example, so just to break it down of what I mean by seeing things as metaphysics. But let's say your car, for instance. You know how your car is like a vessel or a container, and then there's something inside alive that's maneuvering it? That's a metaphysical representation of you. Your body is the car or the vehicle. The soul inside of it is the one who's maneuvering the body. Y'all get it? That's how you have to start breaking things down.
The spirit is the spirit, and the spirit and soul is separated. The spirit is what animates the body that moves things on the planet. The soul is the core being of, you know what I'm saying, of what you are, that's connected to the spiritual realm. You see what I'm saying? Like the spirit represents, like, you know, like the like the being of, you know, like the God being that's inside you. The spirit just represents just what animates the planet, that makes things move. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's, man.
Yeah, so the soul, so you gotta look at it like, and the soul, if you look at the soul as the one that's driving the car, and you look at the outside, you look at the vehicle that he's driving, that would be considered the body, or the human body that's moving about and down the road or down the lane or down these paths that we take.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So the highway is basically the paths that we take. So if y'all actually look at the soul, is the one, the beings inside of these vehicles are the ones that actually constructed these vehicles. Y'all remember? Let us create man in our image. Y'all remember that? Let us create man in our image. So they created these vessels, and then they breathed themselves into the vessel, just like you hop your behind into the car to drive off to work. That's metaphysics. All right? That's metaphysics. So you have all the items and stuff around you, everything is, you can use as parables. You can write your own Bible that's still going to be the truth, but you're actually using the nature of things to write it, because the nature of things is what God is. It never changes. The only thing that changes is man's traditions, man's cultures. You know what I mean? They change up like the wind, but the nature, the seed of things, never changes. It's always the same, and it's the truth.
It's the absolute. It's the absolute truth. It can't even be disputed, debated. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the type of language you have to do when you read your scriptures. Start understanding things, like start looking at things from that standpoint, and start breaking the scriptures down from that standpoint. All right, so let's start with the first. Let's start with the first horse. Now remember, in context, this is the lamb who earned his crown, who got his crown by killing off the sacrificial lamb, which represents the human side, the Jesus side, the one who walked the earth, the physical man who's actually living in physicality and actually living in a material world, which is basically an animal world. So this person went beyond that. Now they got their crown, and now they opening up these seals, and these horses are coming out. Now let's see what this means. So the next thing I saw was this. This is the lamb talking. When the Lamb had opened up the 7 seals, I heard one of the 4 living creatures say in a voice like thunder, "Come." And as I watched, there was a white horse. His rider was holding a bow. He was given a crown, and he went off winning victories, and to win more of them. Now let's break this down metaphysically.
White meaning purity, because you know you into your light body, and that's the light body is just all pure, representing, you know what I mean, representing the light.
And y'all remember what I said about the car, the vessels, the vehicles that's riding, and then the man that's riding it is the soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're like the vehicles is the vessel, and the one that's getting inside of it is the conscious soul that's steering it down the path. So now with this one, you got a white pure vessel with the man riding it. You know what I'm saying? With a bow. Now metaphysically, what could a bow represent? A bow is something that's aimed in a direction and it has a point. So basically, this person has a point that's basically he's making a point or making points that's gaining victories on any type of foolish talk that's going on.
On a lower level, yeah.
On a lower level.
All of that, and I mean all the you know what I'm saying? All the lower level stuff, he got victory over that. All over, because you know, once you reach that crown level, all that under that is just you beat that out. All the lower level stuff, yeah, all the lower level stuff is really don't mean nothing to you after you reach that level.
Making sharp points. Firing off sharp points. He was given a crown. That crown is the higher level of understanding. So the points that he shoot, the sharp points, which represents a bow, or a bow represents sharp points, he's firing them from the crown. So he has a crown, so he's firing these higher messages to the people he's conquering. And the people he's conquering are the people who's basically going against the higher understanding of things and putting man's traditions and man's in the lower level animal stuff over the highest level, over the crown. But you can't do that, and that's why this rider is doing that, and that's part of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's
not a literal horse coming out of the sky and shooting bows at anybody. It's not. You gotta understand, this is taking place within you, and through you. It's taking place within you and through you, and it's projecting outwardly.
Project like an arrow. It's projecting outwardly like an arrow with a point. It has a point. We making a point here, a sharp point. All right.
Let me go down a little bit. It says, when the Lamb opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, "Come," and another horse went out, fiery red this time. It's the rider that was given permission to take peace away from the earth, so that people would kill one another. He was given the great sword.
And y'all remember, y'all see that word sword, right? This is another thing. Whenever you see the word, this is another thing you have to understand. The English language is another spiritual coded language. That's why certain things are in the that's in English that don't make sense. It's like, why is that silent? Why is this that?
It had three different meanings to the same word.
Why does that have three different meanings? Because it's coded. That's why.
There, and there.
So let's break down this red horse, this fiery horse, which is like a fire. And you know, fire burns up everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire burns up. So any type of belief systems, everything is getting burnt up. This rider was given permission to take peace away from the earth. Ain't the message that we saying tonight will take peace away from the earth? Because some people don't want to believe this, and they at war with you.
Yeah, exactly.
They at war with you. If you trying to put away man's traditions and put the crown meaning of things, the higher me, the third, the last, the upper level, nowhere in his family resided at. The message is coming out of there. People at war with you if they still on that animal level. If they down there on that animal deck, and every message.
Yeah, them animals gonna fight each other.
Yup.
Yeah, I mean, and then the food. I mean, they gonna be fighting over the food. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be fighting to get to the food.
But let's get back to the English language is coded, because the English language, believe it or not, is another spiritual language. It's another spiritual language.
Spelling.
Look at the word.
Spells.
Look at the word sword. Now, sword sound like it's just SORD. What's that
That's
W?
word.
What's that W there for? Look,
Exactly.
S word. Do
S
y'all
word.
see that? S word. S word. The soul's word. All right? S is for soul. The soul's word. The sword. The soul's word is what's slaying.
You gotta understand, taking peace away from the earth. I mean, the earth is going through. These ain't peaceful times. You see, it's just nothing but war, killing. You know what I'm saying?
And it's an expression of what's going on a higher level. The wars and the killings is an expression of what's going on a higher level, y'all. All these sicknesses that we seeing, all this stuff is just an expression of something that's going on. And you gotta remember, all this is really about your conscious state. That's what died.
And that's what this red horse represents. Us right now, being without peace, being on earth. We're the representation of this red horse.
Yes, that's why it says a living creature say come. When the Lamb opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature. Living creature. So this is somebody who obtained that Christ consciousness to where they're living.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You remember Jesus died so Christ can live, so Christ can rise and get his glory. You know what I'm saying? So this is someone who's the living creature. So this is coming from the land of the living, with the highest realm, which is where Noah and his family resided at on the ark, the top realm.
Yep.
When the Lamb opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come." As I watched, there was a black horse. Now this is the next one. A black horse. Its rider held a pair of scales in his hand. I heard something like a voice coming from the midst of the four living creatures. A quart of wheat for a denarius, and it said the voice, and 3 quarts of barley, or 4 denarius, but don't ruin the oil and the wine.
Mm-hmm.
This is more metaphysical language. The scales literally represent judge. This is literally judgment.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally the judgment that you're able to make. You're able to make conscious judgments when you're living, when you're the one with the crown. When you got your crown, you able to balance duality. All right? Because the only reason why scales even exist is because we ate from the knowledge of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
Or
so we got to balance polarity, exactly.
You got to balance the polarity now, and you can't damn it. It says you can't don't ruin the oil. Oil representing the anointed ones, because when they anoint people and you become the Christ, or you become part of the brotherhood of Christ, you're anointed. You're anointed with oil. Oil just means anointed. If you look up Christ, you will see anointed one. You will see all that. And the wine represents the blood. Now you're part of the blood cells. I'm in my Father, and my Father's in me. Don't ruin that when you make your judgment. That's what that's saying. That's one of the seals. It's as simple as that. It's nothing more. It's nothing less. That's all it is. It's all it is. Oil represents people who are anointed, and wine represents blood. Metaphysically represents blood. Because when you let let me break down the metaphysics of wine, of how it represents blood. When you break that, when you ferment wine, it creates bacteria. Bacteria have many living organisms in it because it's fermented. So that's like a whole civilization of things created. And actually, wine is actually healthy for you, believe it or not, in moderation. Because of the living fermentation that's taking place.
Mm-hmm.
So what's in blood? A whole host of living things is swimming around in blood. Just like a whole list of living things is swimming around in wine. That's why wine represents blood. It's literally symbolic, y'all. This is metaphysics.
Blood cells swimming around in blood.
This is metaphysics.
Blood cells.
That's how you're able to understand parables and talk in parables. Parables is literally taking the reality of nature and turning it into a language, a written language. That's all it is. In order to do that, you have to have your crown. The crown meaning the higher meaning of things, the higher meaning of the lower things, so you can understand the higher meaning of it, which I'm going to say it again. That's where Noah and his family resided at, on the top of the ark. The middle level was where the food was at. The lower level is where the animals were kept. This is more parables and more metaphysics that's being spoken. So when this lamb opened the third seal and heard the living creature, you know what I'm saying? There was a black horse. His rider held a pair of scales, which means he was a righteous judge. Believe it or not, this rider of the black horse is a righteous judge. This bigger than Beyonce. This is not about Beyonce, y'all. Beyonce is just a symbol. Bigger than Beyonce. It's not about Beyonce. It's not about the Illuminati. It's not about any of that. That's lower level. That's animal stuff. That's trickery. That's mockery. That's those the ones that's mocking God. That ain't got nothing to do with them. We giving y'all the real. We giving y'all proof. We showing y'all that spirituality and science is one. We literally told y'all that wine has a bunch of living things in there. When it's fermented, when those grapes are fermented, and that wine produces all that bacteria, it's living things inside of that, congregating together. When you take a blood sample, you see a whole bunch of living cells in there congregating together. And they say the blood of Christ, I am in my Father is in me. You are in your blood cells, and your blood cells are in you.
And those with the knowledge, don't ruin the oil in the wine.
Exactly. Don't ruin when you make your judgment. Please don't talk down or ruin the ones who have been anointed and the ones who are in the wine or in the blood. Which means you recognize that you are in your Father and your Father's in you. That's being covered by Christ's blood. That's the blood.
So a quart of wheat,
blood cells.
A quart of wheat for denarius.
Now you gotta understand, wheat is what makes bread, and bread represents the body.
Exactly.
That's all that means. That's all that
means.
means. That's all that means. The body is the outer, the material side.
Yep.
The body is the material side. But the body is not going to last. The body is what gets crucified. Y'all remember? Y'all remember the dream? Y'all remember the dream that Joseph and the king? Remember Joseph told the king that the bread maker that the bread was gonna die out, but the wine was gonna last, or something to that effect. See, the blood lasts, but the bread don't. But the bread don't. The body don't. The physical body. It's talking about the physical body though, because it's the bread. The body. There's a physical body that we feed from, but that's just mean the material world we feed it from. That's all that means, because we got a physical material body and we got a spiritual body. But when you see it talk about the bread a lot, it's literally talking about the physical body. And we partake of that first. That's how you're able to get the metaphysics. When you start comparing the lower level things and incorporating it with the higher level things, it's all inside of a body. So the physical body is the physical world. All right? The material world that you're born into. All right?
All right, let's go to the next one.
And denarius is a form of money.
Yeah, that's just
energy
the point.
Or currency.
Yeah, currency. Yup, just the yeah.
Denarius
represents
is
the energy.
A form of energy or currency.
Yep.
Currency and energy. That's what denarius
in exchange.
is. Denarius is an
you know
exchange.
What I'm saying? In
yes,
exchange.
There you go.
That's why it says
a
quart of wheat for denarius.
Yep.
Because that's an exchange. You know what I'm saying?
It's an exchange, exactly. So the body is being bought.
Exactly.
at a price. Let's go, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
yeah.
that's why I don't see many churches touching Revelation, because you can't.
You can't unless
Most
you know the
can't. They
coded
can't touch
language.
it
Yeah, unless you
yeah,
know
if
the
you don't know
language.
the language, don't touch it.
With the language
Don't touch
I'm
it.
saying what the words and the language represent on a spiritual level.
Yeah, don't touch it. Yeah, don't touch it. If you don't know the language, don't touch it. You
All right,
gotta
so
understand the language first.
when the Lamb opened the fourth seal, I heard a voice of the fourth living creature say, "Come." As I took there was a pale horse, and his rider name was Death, Hades, following along behind him. They were given authority over a quarter of the earth to kill with the sword and with famine and with death, and by any means the earth was wild animals. Now yeah, we could definitely break this
We
down.
already broke that.
We already said
broke
what all this means. Yeah.
Y'all should be able to break this down yourselves after hearing, like, y'all see how we broke the other ones down. Y'all should be able to. This is easy. This one is easier than all the rest.
Mm-hmm. Hades basically representing this place, the earth.
Yeah, Hades literally representing the material. Hades is created out of the ignorance and the darkness of not understanding what the material world is and what it's supposed to be for. That creates Hades.
The rider was deaf. Deaf meaning ignorance. Ignorance to the spiritual realm.
Yep.
Hades representing the earth realm, which you reside in, and we don't have no clue. You know what I'm saying? What's taking place spiritually, and that's death. Mm-hmm. That's death. When you don't have no conscience of what's going on spiritually, that's death. That's why I said Hades followed behind him. The rider name was Death, and Hades followed behind him.
Mm-hmm.
They was given quarter over the earth. They was given over a quarter of the earth to kill with the sword.
Basically, with the soul word.
Yep. To kill with the word. That don't mean literally a literal kill. That means kill with the word. And with famine.
And y'all know what we feed on. We feed on knowledge.
Yep.
You are what you eat. We feed on knowledge.
And basically, if you don't have the knowledge, you're starving. You're spiritually starving. And that's what the famine is. That's what famine represents. Starvation from the knowledge.
Once you starve from the knowledge, the next thing that happens is death.
It's death. And by any means, the earth was wild animals. That's just us don't having no don't having no knowledge of the spiritual realm, and we just wild beasts running wild.
Yep.
And doing whatever.
Exactly.
These horses is taking place now. There's nothing to wait to the
right
future.
Now.
There's nothing to wait. There's no date, a special date. Stuff was going to happen.
These
things happen past, present, and future simultaneously. You understand? Simultaneously, these things are happening now. Niggas is ignorant to the spiritual realm. Niggas is dying in ignorance,
dying in your sin. Because that's all sin is. It's just ignorance.
It's just ignorance. Exactly.
And darkness. And ignorance is darkness. That's why they talk about the light. That's why you gotta have the light. Because the light is what brings you're able to see through the darkness with light. Mm-hmm. If you step into a dark room, you don't know what's around you. It's ignorant, so you're gonna be stumbling over everything. Y'all see how metaphysics play out?
Exactly.
If you're in a dark room, you stumbling all over the place. What do they say a blind person do, or someone who don't know their spiritual self? They say they stumble.
They stumbling. Yeah. Because
you're in a dark room. But they say, oh, we need the light of God in there. So once the light is in there, you ain't stumbling anymore because now you can see. That's simple, basic, simplistic parable / metaphysics.
Metaphysics, man.
That's exactly all that is. And y'all see the core of that understanding can't change, and it can't, there's no trickery behind it. You can easily trick people with text. You can easily trick people with text. Jesus was trying to get people out of written text. He was trying to get people into understanding the nature around them and start understanding the scriptures through the nature around them rather than just written text. Because it could be too many mistakes in written text.
Yeah.
It could be too many mistakes. Stuff lost in translation. People trying to manipulate things and write things in that wasn't there before and all that. But you can't do that with nature.
You can't do that with nature. Yeah.
They trying to do that with this genetically modified stuff. That's why they're doing it. Because they trying to hide the truth from people like us who woke up and realized the scriptures is written in the code of nature itself. So now they trying to genetically modify things and try to change the nature of things. That's why they trying to turn boys into girls and girls into boys.
Yeah, they now they trying to manipulate nature. You know what I'm saying? By creating like fake false lights and false suns and fake UFOs and stuff coming out of the sky, and there's nothing coming out of the sky, man. You know what I'm saying?
I hope y'all had y'all notebooks.
Spiritually ain't nothing coming out of the sky, man. Everything's coming through you.
That's true.
Just like we being born, we just like how we're born. You know what I'm saying? We coming through the woman, which her yoni represents basically the portal that we come through. She's the Stargate. The woman is the Stargate. So everything is coming through us. Spiritually, everything is moving through us. There's nothing outside of you, man. There's no man in the sky sitting there waiting for you to come through the sky, and everything is moving through us, man.
Everything is moving through us.
Within us, man. And the thing about it, every text speak about within, from the ancient Egypt text, the Book of the Dead, the Book of the Living,
the Buddhist text,
Hindu
text, everything is in you.
Everything is in you. That's what it says. Everything is in you.
And guess what supersedes all of that? Just think about the seed. Everything's in the seed.
Everything's in the seed.
The seed don't grow out. It grows outward. It don't grow. It don't start off as a tree and start going back into the seed. The seed sprouts and it becomes the tree. So that's our souls is the same thing. It projects the outward world around us.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at your soul as a seed, it needs to be watered. It needs light. You know what I'm saying? And then it sprouts. And when it sprouts something. That's why they say that the faith like of a mustard seed. Mustard seed is really small, but the trees are huge. You know what I'm saying? Your soul is like a mustard seed. But look what happens when you water a mustard seed. And look what happens when you water the mustard seed.
Is Star Trek. Papa JJ is a Star Trek. That's funny as hell. Hell yeah.
And that's what we're trying to get. That's what we're trying to get to y'all. Like, it's not about Beyonce.
Matter of fact, let me pull this picture up real quick.
It's not about Beyonce.
I mean, she's just expressing herself through these different languages, man. Through these different things that's taking place. She's just a form of expression, man.
Just a form of expression.
That's it.
Before you show that, let's play this CBD, John.
Yeah, let's play this CBD. Yeah.
We got our CBD back in stock, y'all. We got our CBD smokes. They all stocked up and ready to be. You know what I'm saying? We got mad different flavors, y'all. Y'all been buying them up. As soon as y'all trying to get off that tobacco, trying to get off that killing smoke, pick up some healing smoke from the Night Day CBD Hub. These cigarettes are tobacco and nicotine free. They made with CBD, grown in sunlight. So it's getting all that beautiful sun. It's not grown under synthetic lights, y'all.
Sure.
It's grown under sunlight. That's very important. They're not telling all your food that's grown out there. None of that stuff, all the weed that you smoke, all should not be grown under synthetic lights. That's why a lot of this weed got niggas out here paranoid and tripping and all this type.
All that sprayed chemical weed.
It's sprayed with chemicals and it's grown under synthetic lights.
Like I said, niggas be thinking they smoking the best shit in the world. I'll tell you, yeah, this the best shit on the. You know what I mean, y'all niggas can't get this type of smoke.
There's certain nutrients in the sunlight that you cannot get from artificial lights, y'all.
I'm smoking a good. This that good. It's the best shit in the world.
Our CBD is not sprayed with any chemicals.
Damn, what the fuck?
It's not sprayed with any pesticides or herbicides or anything like that. All right. We also got pre-rolls and CBD gummies.
Yeah, the pre-rolls. You get 25 in the jar and 50 in the jar. You get from 25 to 50 in the jar.
Or you could buy single ones.
Or you could buy a single. You could buy
We'll be posting the links in the chat at. So if y'all want to support us, y'all want to support other people who's like-minded like us, and you know, all about self-sustainability and building a community outside of the poison corporation that be poisoning us all day. You know what I mean? Come shop with us, and if you're a merchant that sell your own stuff or whatever, come holla at us, man. We see about getting you on our platform. We trying to build a community here, y'all.
Yeah. Let me play his ad real quick. Be right back.
What's up, y'all? It's Naturi Naughton, aka Tasha from Power.
What's up, y'all? This is Master P.
Your boy NRE.
This your boy Trick Daddy Dollars.
Redman is in the building.
You got post-traumatic stress syndrome from being in the hood.
If you got pain, you suffer from anxiety,
Go get the CBD smoke, CBD gummies, the CBD oils.
go get your CBD smokes.
Buy they pre-rolls like Granddaddy Perk and Pineapple Express. Also, they got moon rocks. They got edibles.
Night and day.
Night and day.
Night and day.
CBDhub.com.
Night and Day and CBDHub.com.
Night and Day CBDHub.com.
Night and day CBDhub.com.
Oh, this is a black-owned business, so
Your boy NRE.
I am the Daddy Dollars, and I approve this message.
This is Redman, and I approve this message.
All right, let me get this.
So y'all want to show some love and support? Yeah, check out our shops. Both shops are Night and Day CBDhub.com and our Night and Day Netmarket.com. We got loads and loads of products you guys can choose from. From t-shirts with, you know, black melanated art from the artists that, you know what I mean, you'll be supporting black artists by buying our stuff. You'll be supporting black, like, you know what I mean, just you'll be supporting our whole community. Like, we always talk about, we want to make things ours and how, like, what's the solution to getting out of the mess that we in? Well, one of the solutions is building a strong community of like-minded people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we trying to do here. So y'all down with supporting that, just check out our shops. The links is in our description box. You know what I mean? The links is going to be in the comments by our mods. We'll be posting up the link. So let's get back to this Beyonce standing in front of a portal.
Yup, because we about to get into the Stargate segment.
Stargate. Beyond.
You see, she's standing
her
beyond.
Name is beyond out of this world, y'all.
Yeah, she's standing in a portal. She's standing in the portal.
Beyonce means beyond others and out of this world.
She's standing in the Stargate, exactly. I think she posted this on her page like a week ago, maybe. The CERN, I think she posted around the time that CERN shit's supposed to have went down.
Mm-hmm.
So she just representation of, I mean, what they was, basically mocking what they was doing with that. The CERN opening a portal up and and she out here doing she her basically all she do is symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she does is based on the symbolism.
Pretty much everything.
Her songs, from the music to the videos she does to the movies, the little movies she does, everything is symbolism. And people be like, "That's just the Illuminati. That's when she part of the Illuminati." She ain't part of no goddamn Illuminati. First of all, Illuminati is something that
Something
shit.
that was made up. People using
Yeah,
that.
that's just like a program word now. That became like a taboo program word. Illuminati, Illuminati. To keep you away from the knowledge.
Pretty much. Or to
Make
keep
it,
you cursing the knowledge.
or keep cursing the knowledge, saying everything is evil.
That's a trick right there. It got you cursing the knowledge, and it's actually knowledge that your soul have to obtain to understand certain things. But they got y'all cursing it, saying Illuminati, and that is the devil. But y'all gotta understand that what you have to do, you can't pay attention to the messenger. This is like a trick.
I think I don't. Beyonce is not a cult leader in the sense of being like part of. She's a cult leader because people making her a cult leader by following her with this beehive shit. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People follow. It's like she got like millions of fans. That's part of this beehive thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's making her a cult leader.
That's lower level, and that's lower level stuff right there.
Exactly. That's because the people are propping her up to be their leader. She's not saying she their leader. Beyonce ain't come out one time and say she's the leader of the beehive or anything. People are propping her up like that. You see what I'm saying?
That's because most people are dead in their consciousness.
They represent.
See, that's one of the pale horses.
Pale horse. The pale horse.
That's what that means. You don't know who you are. You don't know that. You don't know the Christ that's in you.
Somebody says she has. No, Beyonce doesn't have a church. That Beyonce mass was a lady that put that together herself. Beyonce didn't come to her and say, "Look, I need you to start a church under my name and all." People are propping her up to be that. You know what I'm saying? People are choosing to do this. That's why I said, don't come here and worshiping no goddamn body in this chat.
Yeah, that's not it.
I don't want to see nobody worshiping nobody in this, none of these damn celebrities, man.
That's the worst ship to be on.
Ooh, say that again.
That is the worst ship to be on.
Ship to be on.
Y'all get it? It's coded, y'all. The English language is coded. That is the worst ship that your soul could be on, all right? That is the worst ship your soul can be on.
Bars.
Yeah, hip hop is a metaphysical language.
Exactly.
Hip hop, when you hear metaphors and stuff like that.
Ooh, we can go into hip hop because the day is hip hop birthday. Well, yesterday.
That's what speaking in parables is about. It's literally metaphysical language. That's why you're always comparing things to other things.
Hip hop was like the last genre of music that came and tied all the music in together.
Yes.
It tied everything in together. It made it one.
Hip hop is spiritual, y'all.
With brother, did you follow me? He said high infinite power healing our people. That's what hip hop mean. He broke it down like that.
Yep.
The brother.
Yeah, because hip hop is like the ultimate form of expression. That's why everybody want to rap.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to rap because it's your soul expressing itself. And your soul, and rapping, poetry, that's still a form of hip hop.
Yeah,
poetry
it is.
The form of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand that's like the highest form of expression right there, because now you breaking down.
Thank you, Indigo, Professor Griff.
Yeah, Professor Griff. Yeah, you breaking down the metaphysics of the reality around you and actually doing it to a beat, a vibrational beat. You know what I'm saying? So you breaking down the universe. Why you think you spit verses? Why you think you rap verses? Universe in unison, and you spitting metaphors, metaphysics. Like this, like it's literally a spiritual thing. But of course, all the spiritual things is being tainted. It's being tainted, and that's what you call. So this now, mind you, this is a language. All of this is languages we speaking. Metaphysics is a language, and when they start tainting, like when they start dirtying up the spiritual stuff, like with this trap rap, that's called foul language right there. That's real cursing. That's what cursing really means. They taking the spiritual language and they creating trap music. Why do you think they call it trap music? Because your soul get trapped. Why do you think they call it trap, y'all? It's trap music. They use 808s, the lowest vibration, to keep you trapped in there. 808 beats, 808. JR, I'm gonna let you explain the music part behind the trap music, what they doing with the vibration of the music.
What they doing with the how they lowering the vibration of the music?
Yeah.
By using 808s.
Yep.
The vibration of the lower basically the lower chakras, man. It basically it lowers your vibration down even more. That's why it's kind of like slow and slurred rap. Like they mumble, what they call it, mumble rap.
Yep.
Because it's just a vibrational thing that's slowed down. The highest frequency of music is like jazz,
classical music, old school conscious hip hop.
Those things is like higher vibration of music. So, I mean, you gotta understand these record companies. These not just the record companies, but the people that own these companies and stuff understand the frequency of music. A lot of these people deal with, you know what I mean, the vibration of the music and what it represents and how it affects people on a spiritual level. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop, when it first started off, was at a high vibrational level. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The break beat and all that stuff was at a high level, vibrational level. You know what I'm saying?
And then even what they recorded on was more like the records and stuff was higher vibration.
Yeah, the records and yeah, the 45s and the 12. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like the records and stuff gives off a certain vibration with the music. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of slowed down and changed the vibration when we start transitioning the music to tapes and CDs.
Well, even tapes was even higher vibration.
Yes, tapes was still tapes was still higher than CDs.
Yeah.
I mean, you had DAT tape, 8-track tapes. Like the Walkman. Remember the Walk? They don't even have Walkmans no more. Them Walkmans was the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Walkmans was the shit. Then they exchanged the Walkmans for MP3 players, and everything's digital now. Even the music that we make now, how the music is being made, everything is synthesizers and digital,
robotic.
Everything is robotic. You got auto tunes, and you know what I'm saying? All this stuff is like, these is, the vibrate, it gives off a different vibration than instrumental music, like instrument music played with instruments. Because the instruments is more closer to the soul. You know what I'm saying? Synthesizers and stuff, that's more like, you know what I'm saying? Like more towards like lower vibrational things that external from yourself. Like that's because you basically programming it by pressing buttons and stuff. Like to create beats now, niggas is just pressing buttons on the clicks on the mouse and putting little dots on the screen and shit to make beats. Then you had to, you know what I'm saying? Then you had to bang on the drums. You had to, you had to play the guitar. You had that stuff is more, you know what I'm saying, more from the soul. The soul music. Now we ain't even got no more soul music. No more soul music. Everything is 808s and computer voices, man. Auto tune, and freaking 808. That's it.
And you know those records used to capture when they recorded for records. You know, it captured the actual real time vibration of the instruments that was being played, and the voices that were singing and
exactly.
In real time, it caught the actual vibration. It captured the actual vibration to the point it takes you into the room with them.
Yep.
It takes your vibratory rate matches there and actually takes you into the room with them when they were recording it.
Yep.
That's what records do. Because it records the energy signature.
Yep.
Directly. That's what y'all have to understand. Everything is vibration. Everything is where everybody's vibration, y'all. Everything is energy. The harder the material is, that's the slower the energy is. Do you understand? Our souls is a high energy, so they like translucent and transparent. Like you can like put your hand through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's literally the vibration is so high and so fast. The material world vibration is slow. So things materialize into actual matter. That's what y'all have to understand. So the music is at a different vibration and it actually uplifts the soul. See, our soul is literally, the vibration is slowed down, so it created this physical shell around us. We're actually like either like a butterfly inside of a cocoon. I mean, a caterpillar inside of a cocoon that creates this cocoon around itself.
Mm-hmm.
But then inside is then when it's ready to basically sprout out with its wings and fly away, it becomes the butterfly. But it actually eats itself inside of the cocoon, and it uses the nutrients from its own body to basically give itself wings to fly out. That's what our soul is doing inside of these vessels now. Our soul is eating the material. That's the when you take it at Lord's Supper and you eating the bread that you eat in the material world.
Bread.
You eating the bread. You eating the material world. The knowledge of, because you are what you eat. You know.
Yeah, that term.
You consume knowledge. Yeah. You consume knowledge and wisdom that actually feeds your soul, and it turns it into a butterfly. So you're eating this world. You're eating the bread. The bread is this material, physical world.
Yep.
That's what you're consuming.
So
So this is a cocoon. This is like a cocoon.
We in a cocoon state. Yeah.
And then once you're ready to fly up out of here, it flies like the butterfly.
Same as when the mother's carrying the child's eating off the nutrients that the mother's is
with inside the
eating.
placenta.
You know what I'm saying? And then when the child is ready to come out, the child pops out within a 9-month span.
This is metaphysics, y'all. This is parables.
So these this Stargate Beyonce standing in front of basically just represents, I mean, it still symbolizes the woman's vagina, of course, the Stargate.
Because life is being born, coming in and out of different worlds. Because you got to understand, the world inside of the woman, when that baby's inside of the woman, that's another whole world that they're in.
Exactly.
You got to understand that child, before it's actually birthed out, it's in another whole realm. It's in a whole world. It's in another whole world. And then when it's birthed out, it's literally in another world, which is this material world.
Bread. Somebody said, say bread again. Bread.
Bread.
Get that bread.
You say bread.
I know we even call bread money.
Yep.
You see how we call bread money? Niggas call in the hood call bread money.
There are portals on this earth, y'all.
Yeah, I was about to get to them portals.
There's portals all around on this planet.
Yeah, let's get to the portals.
There's beings that's constantly going in and off of this planet.
Yep.
I'm sure you've seen the movie Stargate.
Because you gotta understand that when your body go through these portals, it basically breaks your body up
Your
in the
energy.
and atoms, particles.
They showed that in Willy Wonka, y'all. Wonka vision.
Wonka vision. Yep.
All right. They showed it in Wonka vision. They broke it down to you in the old classic Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. When the little boy who liked to watch TV wanted to be inside a TV. You remember he sent the chocolate bar, which basically broke down the molecules of the chocolate bar, and then he directed the chocolate bar into the TV.
Yeah.
That's how energy works. That's how science works. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibration going from a higher vibration to a lower vibration. That chocolate bar that Willy Wonka sent up, he basically broke up the molecules and lightened the vibration of the chocolate bar and turned it into molecules or atoms. Turned it into that, and it was all in fact fragmented. It was still one bar, but it was fragmented. And then he zoomed it into the TV, and then it rematerialized. The vibration slowed down again, and it became a chocolate bar.
He broadcasted into the TV, and it became solid again.
That's how we would move through Stargates at one point. As y'all can see right here, mystery object uncovered in Giza, gateway of the gods. That's what Beyonce was standing in front of.
This was Beyonce was standing in front. And I think during the time she posted that picture of her standing in the portal was around the CERN time when they was talking about they was opening the portals up, the CERN. You know what I'm saying? So she's like I'm gonna say it again, everything Beyonce does is symbolism to something that means, you know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
So we gonna play this joint with the portals. So y'all can get, you know what I'm saying?
I'm sure you've seen the movie Stargate. Exactly same thing, except the frame is square, not round.
With it looking like water.
Yes, ma'am.
Did anybody tell you what that is in this portal?
Only that it takes you from point A to point B. There's several portals on this planet that I know of, that I've been told of.
And has anybody said when you go from point A to point B, you're leaving this universe and going to another dimension?
I would say some probably do, but the ones that they have experimented on, the point A being per se, HARP. HARP, there's a portal there. That portal takes you from HARP to right outside of Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. And it's not a lingering travel. Once you step through the plane of water, per se, you're there. It's not like the movie Stargate that you see stars coming at you and clouds of space dust. Once you go through that plane of water, you're stepping on to point B.
So what you're describing is that we're using extraterrestrial technology that are portals in which you can move A to B in space-time, and we're using it on the Earth to go from Alaska to Hawaii.
The one that I know of that's been traveled through many times is at the HARP facility. From there to Hawaii, yes, ma'am.
Do you know of any others?
A few, yes, ma'am. There's several in South America. There's one that was discovered at the facility I was telling you about in Antarctica.
If you could name the locations of where these portals are, where would they be?
I see Alberta, Canada. Of course, Alaska, Hawaii. 4 that I've been told in Argentina. 3 in Egypt. 2 that I know of in Australia. What part of Australia I do not know as of yet.
All of the portals related to some sort of extraterrestrial portal?
Yes, ma'am.
In terms of the portals, did anybody say to you, we know that this particular alien created the portals?
No, but that has been an ongoing question that I would be trying to get answered myself.
Yeah. Y'all see that? A lot of us were born in we were all born in ignorance, y'all. There's a lot going on in this world that we just are blind to.
Yeah.
They keep us occupied with sports games and reality TV shows and you know what I mean, all that BS, all the violence that's going on in the media, all the wars, but all this stuff is happening behind the scenes. All right? And we see that most people will see this stuff and say, "Oh, this is BS. This not happening. None of this is real." When science tells you that this is real, and spirituality even tell you that this is real.
Yeah. See these portals don't take you off the planet. You understand? These portals take you from point A to point B within the planet. That's why he said the one portal takes you to what do he say? Not the Grand Canyon. He said, what do he say? The one portal takes you from Antarctica to or from Hart to the dam or something like that. These portals help, you know what I'm saying, was ways to get from point A to point B within the planet. It didn't take you off the planet. Because to come to this planet, we have to come through the woman's vagina. She's the Stargate to get into this planet. To get inside the planet. You know what I'm saying? We have to come through her to get in the planet. These portals takes you from point A to B with inside the planet. Same thing with the pyramids. All the pyramids was connected.
Still are.
Well, all the pyramids are connected. I meant to say. And those are
it's a whole energy grid.
Yeah, those are actually travel passages as well.
Well, you gotta understand those pyramids is what's keeping this structure
power
within the matrix. Yeah, it's power in the matrix.
Yep.
Outside of this realm and those pyramids, if those pyramids were to be destroyed, it would knock down the power grid, and then we would be out of the realm of time.
Yeah.
You understand, time isn't real as far as in the eternal sense. Time is only real within this grid that we in because it's just points marked off in the infinite space.
Yep.
That's all time is. Time is just points marked, and these stargates supersedes that because they go from outside of time. They go from outside of time because they go in between. They go outside of the points.
Yeah.
So it's almost like when you playing one of those video games like Pac-Man, when you go on one side and then you come out the other side.
Yeah.
That's literally what it's like, y'all. That's all this is. They keeping it hidden because they want us to remain to think that this is the end all be all within inside this grid.
Yeah.
But what's inside this energy grid is just slowed down vibrations. That's all it is. It's vibration slowed down. That's what created this material world. When they mark those points off, the vibratory rate inside of this space is slowed down, and it created a physical world around us. So it traps all spiritual things, and it comes through those stargates, and it's birthed into this world in its lower vibrational state. Because everything in this world have a higher vibrational state that also lives on another level. That's why we're able to have metaphysics. That's why we're able to break this stuff down to y'all metaphysically. Because all this is just your lower vibration thing attached to a higher vibration thing. This is just all it is just different degrees and different points.
I can't let this go over y'all head again. You got to repeat what the pyramids are again.
The pyramids is an energy grid.
and that
They
they
all
all connected.
interconnected. They all interconnected, and that's what it's like the walls of Jericho for y'all who's into the Bible and Scripture. They had to walk around the wall of Jericho before it collapsed
7 times.
7 times. The wall of Jericho is the physical world. It's the matrix. The wall of Jericho is literally the matrix. And they had to enter in through the gate to get to Jericho. They always talk about the city gates in the Bible. The gates is these stargates. The stargates slow down the vibration. When you step into these gates, your vibratory rate slows down and it creates a physical world. This is science and spirituality, y'all. It's the same.
Can't
science
have one
is
without
literally
the other.
a witness.
Yeah.
Science is a witness to spirituality.
And that's what we are. We're here to witness and observe.
We're the observers.
We the observers. And that's why the books are record keeping, which is basically the books represents our DNA. The DNA is what holds memory and holds up the records of everything that's taking place on this planet. That's why everything is through the blood. Through the blood. The true Akashic records is your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Akashic records is. That's your DNA. Your DNA is what holds all the information.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's
somebody said you can't leave this place. Your flesh can't leave this place.
Right.
If your flesh left this place, the vibratory rate for lower vibration, which creates flesh. Higher vibrations it abolishes the flesh. So when you leave this place, your vibratory rate automatically going to be higher, so it's not going to be flesh anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's science, y'all.
Another mockery. Remember the queen and them supposedly had lit the tree and not the DNA strand to the tree of knowledge or whatever. They basically saying they the record holders, man.
Pretty much.
Planet. They basically saying she's basically saying making a statement that they're the record holders of this planet, man. That they the ones that has the information. I don't know if y'all seen that video with the Queen of England lighting that tree up, the DNA lights that went up to like the tree of life or whatever. But that's basically what they saying, that they're the, they're the information holders.
Now, you don't come here as flesh, but in order to reside here, you have to become flesh.
Yeah.
In order to interact with this world, you have to become flesh. I mean, you could interact with this world as a higher being outside of it, but it's not going to register.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, when your vibratory rate falls this low, you're limited to only 5 senses.
Yeah, because you only can move through things. Being a spiritual being, you only can move through things. There was one point in time when we was able to transform by the speed of thought. You know what I'm saying? We could transform into anything by the speed of thought. If you wanted to be a goddamn bee 1 minute,
We still can. It's just
we slow. Yeah, it's on a slower. Yeah,
we're not conscious of it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You want to be a damn anything, any transformation that has an animated body. You could transform into anything.
And obviously we're marked off there's 5 points we're marked off with.
Mm-hmm.
This grid we're in. That's why we have 5 senses.
Yeah.
We're only limited down to 5 senses, so we're marked off at 5 different points. So we're stuck within inside of those 5 different points. So now we're stuck into the realm of only 5 senses. Taste, touch, smell, y'all know. Vision, hearing.
Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is, your spiritual self sees beyond
The 5 senses.
Yes, beyond the 5 senses. So you're able to see yourself in the. That's why you're able to go back to your past inside your mind. You're able to go to the, go visit your childhood with inside your mind, because those are senses that's outside of the 5 physical senses that we have.
The sixth sense means that your discernment is activated and you're rising out. You're on a path of rising. Your vibratory rate is on a path of rising out of this slowed down matrix that we're in. Mm-hmm. If you have a sixth sense, that means that your vibratory rate is speeding up.
Yep.
If you're able to sort of almost predict the future, or you get like feelings before something happened or anything, like if you really in tune, or you start finishing people's sentences that you don't even know, or you start seeing synchronicities a lot. You know what I'm saying? When you that means your vibratory rate is speeding up. When you start seeing when time start looking like 222, 333, 444, all that means your vibratory rate is speeding up. You're starting to realize that time is not real. It's only within inside of a mathematical equation that slows down vibratory rate.
Yep.
So now you start seeing these numbers like this, and they call them spirit numbers or angel numbers. But no, you're just seeing the angles of the time capsule that we're in, because you're the angel or angle. So you're just seeing a reflection. That's what you have to understand what's going on here. Like, I know we're told many things, but you got to start using science and spirituality together, because they're the same thing. That's why we just not sitting up here talking out of our behind. We giving y'all science behind this. You know what I mean? And nature. We not just talking about out of our behinds. You know what I'm saying? We just not in here talking crazy. We're using science and spirituality. All right? And coded language. This is coded. So I know a lot of y'all niggas are seeing 222. I know a lot of y'all niggas in here probably seeing it. 333, 222, 555. Y'all seeing all that, right? That's because y'all seeing through the matrix. We're inside of a capsule or some type of construct that's marked off in infinite time. Our souls is stuck inside of it at a low, because it's keeping our vibration low. So it's a mathematical equation all around us. All right? So we're only seeing the angles of the 333s, the 444s. It's literally the angles that we're witnessing. But they tell you that it's angels. Angels, same difference. Same difference. That's your body basically beating up against the wall. Your body is hitting the wall, because you got to understand, you got a body outside of this body. Your conscious body is a being, and it has a body. So it rubs up against the lining of the structure that we in, and it manifests in your world as 444, 555, 222. That's what's happening. It's almost like in a Truman Show when at the end, when he hit the wall and his boat pierced the wall. Yeah. He was about to walk up the steps.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
You're breaking through the walls of Jericho, y'all.
Yep.
I know it freaks a lot of people out when you start seeing those numbers everywhere. You start looking at receipts and stuff, like, damn, I paid $7.77 for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You walk outside and you sit in your car. You look at the time in your car. It says 11:11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get home and it says 12:12 or 2:22 or 12:22 or like, damn, why am I keep seeing these numbers like this? This is creeping me out. It's because your vibratory rate is speeding up and you starting to see the matrix, the coding.
What it is.
Yep, you're starting to see the coding
You're
of this
starting
place.
to see the coding of this. Yep.
Yep, you're starting to see the coding.
Mathematics.
Spirituality and science is the same thing. Don't let them tell you that they're two separate things. You don't even be looking for the numbers.
Nah, you don't.
And you see it. And this is
see
a
it,
phenomenon that's happening on the planet. A lot of people say that's because the vibration is speeding up. Our souls is ready to uplift out of this physicality. We're reaching a certain level. We're reaching a certain level of consciousness. Some people want to be comfortable and lay in their lower meanings of everything and lay in their ignorance and darkness. I mean, that's fine.
Be stuck in their cocoons.
They can stay in it. I mean, shoot. Some caterpillars can probably die in their cocoons, right? And never even actually come up out of it.
Yeah, that happens.
But you never die, though. That's the thing. We're different than a butterfly. That's what makes us different than all the animals. We're eternal beings. Our energy never dies. It's just transformed and it slows down. The vibration slows down and it speeds up. So.
Somebody said, okay, what about the third eye? I never understood that. The third eye is it doesn't, it's not a physical eye, right?
Yeah,
it's a sense of seeing beyond this place, like within your conscious, within your mind. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a projector. If y'all see those projectors at the planetarium, that's exactly what the third eye represents. But it's your soul that's projecting these images out. So the stuff that you're seeing outside of you is the stuff that's happening inside of you. If you understand how projectors work, everything inside a projector is what basically the light shines through and it shows the images on the ceiling of the planetarium. Yep. So you will see the different shapes and stuff is inside of the projector. And when the light turns on, it goes through the projector, it projects out, and then the projection sprouts all over the room, and you looking around and say, wow, that's the universe. That's what your soul is doing. Those projectors at the planetarium is literally a metaphysical representation of what your soul do.